Hey everyone, it's Sarah. I wanted to talk a little bit real quick about what I'm doing for this video today. I'm actually going to be doing a layout from my stash, so everything is in my stash. It's not things that came in kits or anything like that. And I'm doing this to apply for the SNL design team that Carla has posted a video for the call, and the requirement is to submit a video for it. So that's what this is going to be for today. And for the SNL design team, if you haven't heard of it, one thing that they do is they do a Saturday stash dive. So they pick challenges and they challenge each other to do things, and it's all from your stash. So that's what I'm going to do here. And I'm also going to take this opportunity to show you what I'm going to be working on for February. So my February focus is going to be this package of papers that I have. I've had this for a long time, probably a year and a half or so, and it just has scraps, a lot of scraps from, just cutting up strips of paper. And then in here I have some kind of cut up paper pads, things like that. So they're little, probably 6x6 paper pads that are, they've lost the cover. I don't even know who this one's by. Oh, my mind's eye. So I'm just kind of getting down to the bare minimum of these. So I'm going to work a February, and every single layout I do in February is going to be, I'm going to use some of these papers and strips and try to use up as much as I can. So that's my plan for today. So I'm going to go ahead and do this page for my submission to the design team. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get started. Okay, so I am starting with this really, really bold piece of pattern paper, and that is by a French company called Studio Ticturic. I hope I didn't butcher that too much, but I had gotten it in a Studio Calico kit a while ago and never used it, so I put it back into my stash. And so that's going to be my background, and I'll explain why I chose that in a few minutes here, but I'm going through my paper pads that I'm working on for the month of February, and they're all just random. A lot of them they're free from their packaging, so I don't even remember where some of them came from, and so I really just want to use those up. So I'm kind of going through and picking some that are jumping out at me, and I picked a light blue, that yellow, and then the one in the middle that I picked was like a notebook lined paper. So I'm going to use those three as layers behind the picture. And before I do that, I want to mat the picture on something so that it stands out a little bit against all the layers and all the colors that's going to be going on. So I am going to mat it on a very thin mat on this navy cardstock here. And that's just going to help it stand out a little bit on its own. And I'm going to use this little cut apart sheet as well. This is from the same French company, and I'm using this little journal card, and I like it because it has paper airplanes on it. And since the layout is going to be about airplane charting, so I just thought the paper airplanes were funny. So I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out where I want my layers to go and how I want them to look. And it came together pretty quickly. I pretty much keep everything, how I first had it down, just like that. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else, like any other layers I want to do. But I don't want to do too much since I do have such a bold background. I don't want to clutter it up too much. So I like the way that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting my layer stuck down. And I used an 8.5 by 11 piece of vellum just to kind of tone down the very, very bold background paper. So while I'm doing my layering here, this picture is of Kaylin, and this was back in 2009, and my husband was in training to be a navigator for the Air Force. He's no longer a navigator. He has moved on since then, but he was doing his training, and he had his flight charts out on the floor, and he was planning one of his missions that he had to do. And Kaylin was just, kind of walking around, and she just grabbed his ruler and sat down right in the middle of the map, and she was like, "Let's go." So it was so funny.
And that background paper looks very, very similar to the kind of charts that he was using because it shows terrain and all sorts of stuff. So when I saw that paper, I was like, yes, perfect, because I had not scrapped this picture yet. And I was shocked that I didn't because this was so long ago. You know, she was probably a year and a half in this picture, and she's going to be 7 next month. So I was happy I was able to use that and get this page done. Okay, so I am using those green thickers. I don't know what they're called. I did not write it down. I'm sorry. They're older though. I think I got them in a oh, actually, I think I got those in a Sassafras box when Sassafras went out of business. I got like one of their discount boxes, and they were in there. So Sassafras doesn't make them, obviously, but I just didn't write the name down. I'm sorry. So those are older. I don't think you can get them anymore. And I'm using this printable label that I got at studiocalico.com and some Kelly Perky green letter stickers to put the year, because I don't remember the date that this was taken, but I do remember it was 2009 because that's when he was in training. So just using a whole bunch of different shades of green here just to kind of mimic the background paper. These are some old stickers from Studio Calico. They're chipboard, and I'm using that photo arrow and a green geotag. I just kind of went through my stash and pulled out a bunch of green stuff, literally. So, but it all goes together nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling on this card. And it just says, when Josh had some navigating charts out, Kaylin climbed onto it to measure. So cute. And tried to measure. These little dots here are from Queen & Company, and they're just a nice shade of green. So I'm going to put those in 3 areas there. And I think at this point I think I want to mount it on a piece of cardstock. So I'm trying to see what color I want to use, if I want to go like with a yellow to mimic the yellow paper, or a dark green. And I like the dark green a lot better. It kind of helps ground it a little more. Since that pattern is so busy, I felt like it needed something along the border just to kind of hone it in a little bit for your eye. So I'm going to cut off a little bit from each side there, and mount it onto that green cardstock. And I didn't cut out the center. A lot of times I'll cut out the center of things, but I have quite a few sheets of that color of cardstock, so I'm not going to bother cutting the center out of it. I don't feel like I need to save it. And I'm looking at some wood veneer here, but that's too big. It's huge. So I was like, no. And I didn't really see anything that I liked. And so I'm going to pull out my paper clips, because I have some silver paper clip airplanes, but I don't know. I wasn't really feeling that either. And so I'm going to go into my flare badges and see if there's anything in there that I could use. First, I'm going to use some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in gold, and I'm going to do a little bit of sprinkling in 2 corners. And I used that piece of paper that Layla had colored for me that morning. It was actually photo paper. I was super happy that she colored with crayon on my photo paper. But whatever. Okay, so I have this globe that I'm going to use, and that's a little homemade flare button that I had made myself. And I'm going to use that right above the end of the title here. It helps bring in that blue a little bit from the, you know, I had used a blue piece of pattern paper as well. So I like the way that looks. I'm taking one last look to make sure there's nothing else I want to add to it. I don't want to clutter it up too much, just because, you know, the background is very bold, so I don't want to add too much to it. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be back again real soon, and keep your fingers crossed for me for this design team submission. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.